Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video where today I am going to be fixing my brake pad life sensors because right now it's giving me an error that my brakes were due 40,000 miles ago, which is obviously not plausible. So I checked the sensors and they are in fact broken. So today I'm going to be replacing them and showing you how to do it. Very simple, very short video today. That's right, the brake pad life sensors, or the brake pad wear sensors, however you would like to call it, are back here, and you can barely see that mine actually right there is broken. It looks as if though an animal may have chewed through it or something, and because of that, it is not reading the brake pad correctly. So it's telling me that every time I get in the car and I go in, so let's go ahead and get in, and I turn the car on. Service due since 40,000 miles. That's obviously wrong. You can see here, brake system, drive moderately, replace brake pads, obviously. That error right there is because the brake pad sensor is not working and it thinks that everything is completely wrong. So it's just telling me the absolute ultimatum, which is 40,000 miles ago I should have done my brakes, which is kind of funny because that's just not possible, right? That's just not a thing that has happened. But yes, this error is very annoying, and every single time I get in it, it tells me the same thing, and every time I drive, the entire drive, it has the big red brake light right there, and I don't like it. It's annoying. Every time somebody gets in the car and they see it, they think, this is just some janky clapped box car, and I don't like it, so I'm changing it. So I bought these. These are from Amazon. These are the life pad sensors, the brake pad wear sensor you can see right there. And these are, like I said, from Amazon. It was $11 or so for both of them, for the front left and the rear right, because actually my rear right brake pad sensor actually keeps falling out. It doesn't stay in, so it's actually kind of lucky that it brings both. So I'm going to go ahead and replace both. Very simple install. Pretty much just have to remove each wheel, disconnect everything, and then plug this in its place. Pretty easy. Let's go ahead and start with the front left wheel. So the first thing to do, of course, is to remove that wheel. So I'm going to go ahead and jack up the car and get that wheel off. All right, I got the wheel off, but after a lot of persuasion, this is the first time I take the wheel off after putting them on, and it was on really, really hard for some reason. The bolts came out just fine, but I had to get a sledgehammer and a piece of wood to protect the wheel and just bash it. And then it finally came out. It was on a little too tight. I'm gonna figure that out later. But here we have the sensor. This is what I'm talking about right here. You can see it's broken, and there is the other end. So honestly, I'm just gonna go ahead and remove this. That's not what I wanted. Well, anyway, I can get a pair of pliers and just pull it out of there. But you can see the other end that usually connected to that end is right here. You can see just absolutely destroyed. I don't know what happened. I really don't. But it looks like a pretty easy install. I'm just gonna go ahead, follow it up all the way, and then it goes right here to this box right here. So I'm gonna go ahead, open up this box and disconnect it from there, and then take it off all the way down here, and then take this off entirely and replace it, of course, with the new one. This is supposed to be connected to the car, but obviously it's not really reading anything, is it? Just kind of there. So that's why I kept getting the error for 40,000 miles ago service. This is the culprit. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this part, and I'm gonna see how to get it out of this little holder. Okay, here it is. It's this top one right here. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it out and disconnect it. Perfect. Let's unroute it. All right, it's off. Finally, let's get the new one and route it in. All right, here it is. Let's go ahead and open it up in the shade because it's very hot right now. All right, here are the two. I believe the blue one is for the rear because it's shorter. Yes, it is barely shorter, you can see. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab the longer one, which is all black. I'm gonna go ahead and install this in the same place that we just had, the OEM one. So first I'm gonna route it from down here, which is the hardest part to get it in. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it through here. All right, make sure obviously to give it enough slack so that it doesn't break. Looks like that's it. I just gotta say, I am very impressed with the fit and finish of this. I mean, it looks great and it fits absolutely perfectly. Everything is just fitting in the right spot. All the connections for the right fittings are, in the right area. So I'm gonna go ahead, plug it in, get that nice click, and put it right back in. Close it up. that's it. That's literally it. We are done in the front. So now that we finished the front, let's take a look at it. You can see here the brake pad wear sensor. That looks a lot better. It was nice and shiny, brand new looking gold, and it clicked in. Before it would just kind of go in and just fall back out. It clicked in. It took a bit of a push and it went in. Everything is routed perfectly. Very nice, just how the OEM one was. Look at all of that. Everything really does look great. It fits great. Like for example, the length from this fitting to this fitting is just enough, just like the OEM. Really, really happy with it. And of course, it fit perfectly at the top there. And it's weird to think that at some point everything here was black, but now it's just gray and sandy and dirty. Food for thought. But yeah, it used to look like this, but now it looks like that again, and it should, in theory, work. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and put the wheel back on. I'm gonna lower it down and go over to the rear right wheel for the rear brake pad sensor. All right, here is the rear one. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it out. Oh yeah, that wasn't even in. This thing has to go. You don't really think about this kind of stuff when you do maintenance and stuff. You don't think about these disposable wires that you have to replace every so often, because you really do. I mean, this thing just did not do anything at all. It wasn't holding in at all. So I'm gonna go ahead, do the same thing as last time. I'm gonna go ahead and remove it here. All right, same system as last time. I'm gonna go ahead, find it right here, take it out, unplug it. All right, gonna do the same way as last time. I'm gonna put this in first and then route it all the way up. All right, finally, it's time to plug it in. I'm gonna go ahead, grab it. I already cleaned it a little bit, put it in, and then hear that click. There we go, put it back. All right, that's it. It's on, it's done, it's connected. Everything is nice and in, very tight, very well, very nice. Let's put the wheel back on and get the car down. All right, so now we are inside the car, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and turn the ignition on, turn the air off and everything, and then put your foot on the brake and release the parking brake. You have to release the parking brake for this to work. You can see, of course, I still have the brake light and everything, and it's still giving me the annoying messages. So I'm gonna go ahead and go over here and hold this button. There we go. Reset possible for front brake pads. Gonna go ahead and hold it again. Hold it one more time when it asks reset, and then we watch it reset. Also, make sure your driver's side door is closed. All doors are closed. And the brake is off, and there we go. Reset successful. We have successfully reset the brakes on our F10 535i, or your F10, whatever you may have, right? But it's a very simple process, honestly. Like, the entire process is very, very simple. And it's the same thing with the rear. I've already reset it because it's the exact same process. You just go over to it, hold it, and then when it asks you to reset, you hold it again, and then it resets by itself. But honestly, I did have some problems. I did realize that something on my wheel actually was very sharp, and for some reason, I think it was one of the weights. I think it was a little bit sharp, so it was cutting the cable, the brake pad wear sensor cable that I just installed, and it cut it again. So what I did is I got a new brake pad wear sensor for the front, and I installed it, but this time I put heat shield around it, like the gold tape kind, and I put that on there, and then I also zip tied it closer to the brake itself, the brake caliper. So far so good. Nothing has happened yet. Obviously, it's going very good, but there might be something on your wheel that might cut your brake pad sensor. I'm not saying it's because of the fault of the product, but just be on the lookout in case your brake pad wear sensor cable just starts getting cut randomly. I figured that something was sharp on my wheel on the inside of the barrel, like a weight or something. So I just zip tied it closer to the actual caliper, obviously not impeding slack or anything. It works fine, it's great. But we got it all reset. No more lights, obviously. There's no light, just to check engine light because the engine's not on. But if we turn the engine on, then we see there is no brake light, obviously, and of course, parking brake and everything still works fantastic. I love it. Everything is good. There is nothing to complain about now. Everything looks good, everything feels good, and of course, the routing, I mean, the product itself was very good. I'm very impressed with how OEM-like it is. I mean, it fits perfectly. It's the right color, not that matters. It's the right shape, it's the right size, it's the right length. Very impressed. I'll leave a link to these brake pad wear sensors in the description below, but I cannot guarantee that there are going to be any left because Amazon links are very stingy for some reason. I don't know, they don't last very long. But other than that, I think that's about it. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you're notified about every single video that drops. For the F10 535i, which actually you might have seen a few mods that are new that I haven't shown yet, so be on the lookout for those. The M4 and of course the Mini, which of course you also saw something that I haven't shown yet. But that's about it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all in the next one. Take care.